Ice Cube just walked into this whole Diddy saga and dropped nuclear bombs about Hollywood's hidden tactics. And what he revealed about Diddy, Oprah, and the industry's hidden rituals, I mean, it's about to change everything you thought you knew about entertainment. We're talking phone confiscations, hidden cameras at elite parties, and a systematic machine that controls who rises and who gets destroyed. Ice Cube didn't just expose names, he leaked the actual playbook on how Hollywood's ritual system operates. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly how figures like Diddy and Oprah allegedly use these gatherings to maintain control, why Jamie Foxx mysteriously vanished, and the shocking ritual details that Ice Cube says they've been hiding from the public for decades. Because what Cube revealed about these Hollywood rituals and the surveillance happening at industry parties, they definitely don't want you knowing this. It all starts with something called blacklisting. When big Hollywood players suspect you might reveal something they don't want you to, they will vanish you from Hollywood. It happened with Cube as well. Ice Cube trying to get on The View. Now, you'd think a legendary rapper, actor, and filmmaker would be welcome on a talk show, right? Wrong.
You know, I tried to go on The View. They didn't have me on The View.
Why?
Well, a few of the guests just really didn't like where I was coming from. So, or a few of the hosts, I mean. So that's what I was told by the producers.
Cube opens up about being completely shut out, with producers allegedly telling him the hosts didn't like his opinions. But here's where it gets real. That wasn't the actual reason. The real reason goes way deeper. And it wasn't just The View. Oprah, the Oprah, repeatedly snubbed him. We're talking about leaving him off major appearances for his own projects like Barbershop and Black. Think about that for a second.
I've been excluded on Oprah, you know.
On Oprah?
On Oprah, yeah, I've been excluded. Yeah, man.
I would think you'd be the person Oprah would want to promote it.
You know, an independent thinker. I'm not part of the herd. I'm not part of the go along to get along gang.
But Cube calls it exactly what it is. Punishment for refusing to join what he calls the Get Along Gang. Hollywood's got this unspoken rule. Play nice, follow the script, or get blackballed. And when someone like Ice Cube won't bow down, they make sure everyone knows what happens to rebels. But this is just the surface. Because what Cube revealed next about Hollywood's gatekeepers will make you question everything you thought you knew about the entertainment industry. Now listen, Cube doesn't just complain about being shut out. He names the system. He calls out what he sees as a shadowy gatekeepers of Hollywood that decides who rises and who falls in Hollywood.
Ever since I put out the contract with Black America, you know they've been f***ing with me. Here and there, this and that. You know who they are, and they definitely know who they are. A lot of people would be like, what, who? Come on, man, stop playing. We don't need them, you don't need them, you know. So what am I gonna do to deal with these motherfucking gatekeepers? Well, what I'm gonna do is go on a F the Gatekeepers podcast tour, and I'm gonna go talk to everybody.
These aren't just industry executives making business decisions. According to Cube, these are gatekeepers who control the entire narrative. Cross them, your career is over. Play by their rules, you might just make it to the top. And here's the thing that should terrify anyone who believes in artistic freedom. Cube breaks down exactly how these gatekeepers react when someone dares to challenge the status quo. Now, hearing of these gatekeepers, I think about that one clip where Kelly Clarkson had to shut up on live TV because she literally said, there are people who can control you by just throwing millions of dollars on your face.
I've had people throw millions of dollars in my face to do something I didn't want to do. And what? Just, you've been offered, yeah. Oh, they're in the room.
Yeah, I don't want to.
Anyway, for Ice Cube, he's launching the Gatekeepers podcast tour, taking his message directly to the people, bypassing the mainstream media entirely. Because when the system shuts you out, you build your own platform. And Oprah, she is about to face some serious questions. Now, things get heated when we talk about Oprah. And before you say, but she's Oprah, just listen to what's been happening. Taraji P. Henson's public frustration over the color purple payment issues brought renewed criticism about how Black artists were being treated and paid in Oprah's productions. Oprah denied responsibility, but the backlash didn't just fade away.
She said my brother wanted to come on the show and talk about him molesting me, and he wanted to tell other parents how to look out for molesters. My brother Gerald is a charmer.
Then 50 Cent goes nuclear, slamming Oprah for what he sees as targeting black men in the Hash Me Too movement. Monique claims she was blackballed by Oprah herself after her Oscar win. And this is where it gets really disturbing. Oprah allegedly brought Monique's estranged brother on her show without consent. But the scandals don't stop there. Oprah's South African school faced serious allegations, abuse, employee misconduct. The public demanded answers, but the stories just seemed to disappear from mainstream coverage. While all this was happening, Ice Cube was making his own controversial choices that would put him even further outside Hollywood's inner circle.
No, I'm not anti-vax. I've been vaxxed before,
Right.
you know, but those vaccinations were studied for 50 years before they got to me.
Here's where Cube really shows he won't be controlled. His refusal to take the COVID-19 vaccine for a film role made headlines. But according to him, this wasn't about the vaccine. It was about Hollywood's pattern of penalizing anyone who thinks for themselves. And then he shocked everyone by teaming up with conservative figures like Tucker Carlson. This move forced both sides of the political spectrum to deal with uncomfortable truths. Because here's a black artist from South Central refusing to stay in the box either side wants to put him in.
Everybody doesn't really have to affirm you, you know? If I wake up and say, you know, I feel like a pigeon.
His commentary on gender identity drew intense backlash, with Cube comparing how being a man is now seen as toxic. He even joked about wanting to identify as a pigeon. But here's the point. He refuses to censor himself to fit anyone's narrative. But what happened next in that federal courtroom would change everything. Because Ice Cube didn't just talk about these issues from the outside anymore. In a moment that literally stopped a federal trial in its tracks, Ice Cube made a surprise entrance into Diddy's courtroom. And this wasn't some publicity stunt. Cube walked in with purpose, making it clear he was there to break the silence on secrets the industry has been hiding for decades. The kind of secrets that could destroy careers, reputations, and the entire power structure of Hollywood. And what he revealed next about the hidden machinery controlling Hollywood from the shadows would make anyone question what's real and what's manufactured in the entertainment world. According to Ice Cube, the same system that hands out fame can just as easily destroy you the moment you stop playing along. And when they decide to take you down, the fall is quiet, calculated, but absolutely devastating. This machine doesn't just control who gets movie roles, it controls narratives, public perception, and ultimately who gets to have a voice in American culture. But the most shocking example of how this system operates, it involves someone most people would never suspect, Jamie Foxx. And what allegedly happened to him will make you see Hollywood in a completely different light. Jamie Foxx was Hollywood royalty. Oscar winner, comedy legend, musical talent. He had it all. But according to Ice Cube, Foxx made one critical mistake. He tried to distance himself from Diddy and the powerful circles surrounding him. From that moment on, everything changed. Meetings got canceled, projects were reassigned, opportunities just quietly disappeared. This wasn't about talent or marketability. Jamie Foxx was still Jamie Foxx. But in Hollywood, stepping out of line has consequences that go way beyond just losing a few roles. The systematic dismantling of someone's career isn't loud or dramatic. It's methodical, quiet, and designed to look like natural career decline rather than deliberate sabotage. But what happened to Jamie Foxx on that Netflix set would take this story from career destruction to something much more sinister. Jamie Foxx's sudden disappearance from the set of Back in Action left everyone with more questions than answers. One day he's there, the next day he's gone, and nobody's talking about what really happened. The official story? Medical emergency. But Ice Cube drops a bombshell suggestion that Foxx's so-called medical emergency wasn't a coincidence. It was a calculated move to isolate in silence someone who was becoming too much of a liability. Think about it. In an industry where information leaks constantly, how does a major star just disappear from a set with barely any real explanation? How does someone with Jamie Foxx's profile vanish from the public view for months without any credible details? But the most disturbing part of this story involves a phone call that allegedly changed everything. A call from someone with the power to make or break careers in Hollywood. Now, Ice Cube describes these so-called Hollywood parties as anything but casual social gatherings. According to him, there's strategic setups where guests' phones are confiscated and hidden cameras record every move. So here we are. Ice Cube has laid out his case, presented his evidence, and named names. He's exposed what he claims is a system designed to control, manipulate, and silence anyone who won't play by Hollywood's unspoken rules. The question isn't whether you believe every detail. The question is whether you're willing to look at the patterns and ask yourself, what if he's right? Let me know what you think in the comments. Was Ice Cube exposing the truth, or is this just another conspiracy theory? Because honestly, after everything we've seen, I'm not sure the line between those two things is as clear as it used to be.